In my real life, yeah. My background is not in games at all. I've been involved in marketing and public relations, mostly in high-tech companies. I have 4 kids, and so this was sort of out of the ordinary for me. My husband has a background in starting a bunch of different companies, but none of those were game companies either. So this was kind of a new experience for both of us. And it's been very exciting and very rewarding to watch the site grow and just see how much people love playing and they get so much out of it. So it's really a lot of fun.
How old are your children?
My children are 12, 16, 17, and 18. So.
Oh my! You are serious. You had one every year there?
Yeah, just about. Yeah.
Oh my! Because my son has triplets, and they're
goodness,
5 years old. But you darn near came close to that.
Yeah, I certainly tried. Yeah, I certainly tried. Well, now they're quite a bit older. So.
And so, do they like to get on and play?
Actually, they do, and they were kind of our testers when we started this whole thing out. They were quite a bit younger at the time. So, yeah, because they obviously like to play games online as well. So, yeah, they had a lot of fun playing and talking and that type of thing. So, yeah, they loved it.
Well,
they're not online as much anymore playing the games because they have to do their schoolwork. So, But the other people that love it are, like, my parents both play and are really into it. They're in their 70s, and, yeah, they find it very rewarding. My dad was actually one of our first testers when we first launched the game. He played quite a bit. So it's been quite a family affair here for us.
It is, and your site's beautiful, and we were very happy to be able to feature you in Boomer Times because we like new things. And this was new, and this was exciting. This wasn't on health, particularly, or wealth. We do a lot of articles on those things. This was just on fun and games and social ability. And I'll bet, and you may not know this unless you ask people to write you, maybe someone met someone and they're having a romance.
That's right. Actually, that is true. We do have a couple stories about that. One is a couple who were playing and became friends online, and they didn't know each other's names or anything like that, but eventually they got to the point where they told each other their real names, and they determined that they had gone to the same elementary school together, and one of them had moved away and had since moved back to the area, and they figured out that they actually lived a few blocks from each other in the same town, and here they were playing, thinking that they were miles and miles apart in different parts of the country probably, and they were a few blocks away. So they decided to meet, and a romance developed from there, and then they got engaged. So it was a really cute story.
How old were they about?
They were, I believe, in their 50s. I think it was a second marriage for both of them, and yeah, it was really sweet to come back to kind of where you started in grade school and get back together again. So it was really a cute experience.
Yeah, well, you certainly have been the perpetrator of all these things.
Yeah. And I have to say, it's not like you mentioned, it's not kind of an eHarmony thing. It's not really about romance, although that does happen sometimes. Mm-hmm. We have a lot more stories about people who just met and became friends and found that they had, a lot of other things in common. We also have people who may be going through medical issues or things like that where they kind of form a support group around that person and give them encouragement and give them the positive kind of social experience that they need while they're going through those types of things. We had one man in particular who was going through chemotherapy, and he lived alone, and he made this group of friends on Winster, and they supported him through his whole journey. And at the end of it, he said, I don't know if I would have made it if I didn't have this group of friends. They were always checking in on me. They were always inviting me to play. They just kind of kept me going when I felt like I just, couldn't keep going anymore. So we have a lot of stories like that are really inspiring, where people kind of help. They really look out for each other and help each other in times of need. So that's always so heartening to hear.
Oh, that's just beautiful to hear. Well, I was also thinking about something, and I think I wrote about it in the article, that many people live in remote areas, and they're older. There's nobody that comes to visit them. Even maybe the mailman doesn't, because they have these gang boxes out in the, way down the road. And this gives them a chance not to be so isolated in a safe way.
Yes, absolutely. We do find a lot of people that are in more rural areas. And thank goodness now there's, people have internet and people have computers pretty much everywhere, which is great. That's a lot different than it was 10 years ago. So you're right, it is definitely a social outlet for people who are maybe socially isolated or homebound. maybe they don't get out as much as they would like to, or they don't get visitors as much as they would like to. It really combats loneliness for them. There's a lot of studies that say cooperation and this type of social interaction makes people happier and healthier, which is great. Also, there's a lot of mental stimulation in playing these games. You have to have a strategy. You have to figure out how you're going to share and what your pieces you're going to trade and things like that. So it really gives you mental stimulation as well, which is great.
Well, when you have a prize, though, it only goes to one person, right? Even though they've shared.
Right. Yeah. So each person is working towards completing their own puzzle. So if you and I were both playing a puzzle game, we might even have different puzzles, but we would share pieces to complete our own puzzle, and then those points would go towards our prize. So that's another interesting aspect of it. Actually, is that a lot of our regular players develop these other cooperative games within the games where they'll say, there's 5 of us in the room, and we're going to all help Anita win her prize first. So we're all going to give her the pieces that she needs to complete her puzzle, and when she does that, then we're all going to move on to Michelle, and we're all going to get her to complete her puzzle. So they have these different cooperative strategies within the game as well to help each other, which is really cute, actually. And they're a bit complicated as well. So when you're in this type of a circle, you've got to get clued in on how this whole thing works. So, that's you're working towards your own prize, but everyone's helping each other as they go. So that's a really nice thing about the site.
Well, this is very, very unusual. Let me tell everybody again, my guest is Michelle Kaplan. She's co-founder with her husband, Jerry, of the website Winster.com. That's Winster. It's actually a website. It offers safe and friendly virtual environment for people to meet other like-minded individuals who share common interests, values, and backgrounds while playing fun online games. Now, for some of you who haven't been on this yet, I want to give everyone the website. It's Winster.com, Winster.com, and if you put in /Boomer, you will be able to get something that's been very specially advertised. If you want to put Boomer Times in, the Senior Life and Boomer Times readers will get a $700,000. No, not $700,000. We should be so lucky, right? 700,000 point head start toward their first prize, which they started, I think, at about $1 million. But the thing I was fascinated about this, that you say that even though you started in 2007, is it true that you have over 2 million registered players?
Right, yeah, that's right. I think we're getting close to 3 million at this point. So
no, and are these? This isn't because I guess when they want to play, they have to register their name, so that's how you can tell.
Right, yes, they have to register to play just with an email address and a screen name. It's not hard to do at all because other people need to know who you are. You have to have your screen name on there while you're playing. So, we've had quite a few people come through and play. So it's been pretty exciting to see all that happen. It is a lot of fun. I loved what you said in your article. You said there's nothing dangerous or mysterious about it, which is exactly right. It's such a nice, warm, and inviting group of people and a nice, warm, and inviting environment. So I think sometimes people feel intimidated with websites, like they don't want to get on Facebook or they just don't want to bother with all of that. But this is not that type of a place. It's a very safe, friendly place. So you don't have to worry about privacy issues or getting involved in something that you're not sure of or that type of thing. It's just a fun place to hang out and make friends.
All right, what is the most popular game that gets the most action?
The most popular game is a game called Slot Social, and it's kind of a cross between, I don't know if you'd say bingo, but like a slot machine where you're getting, every time you spin, you get a different symbol, and you try to match those up in a certain way to get the most amount of points. So that's definitely our most popular game, but we have other games. We have word games, and we have puzzle games. So just about anything that someone might be interested in playing. And the other thing that's nice, too, is that a lot of these games are based off of games that you already know. So you already know how a slot machine works. And by the way, this has absolutely nothing to do with gambling. So I just want to make that clear. But a lot of the symbols, like there's cherries and things like that that